Good morning, folks. A few days ago, Cindy brought me home a couple of rattlesnakes that she found run over. They they were right there next to each other, and I thought that was kind of strange. So I looked it up. I guess July and August is rattlesnake breeding time. So I ended up, one of them was squished kind of in the middle. This one here, not long enough for a hat band, but I'll use it for something. This one here, it's going to make a good hat band. I left the rattles on this one. It's got a bunch. Most of the time they don't have that many. They end up, everybody says, oh, that's each year they get a new button. This one I've had for a while. But that's not really true. What it is when they shed their skin, they get a new button on there. But most of the time, they get broke off, so it's really hard. You can't count that by how many years old they are or anything like that, like people think. But they're really simple. If you haven't seen that video before, all you do is you wrap them around a piece of leather and cut the belly scales off and glue them down. And it works pretty good. They hold up reasonably well. Rattlesnake skin is thin. There's really no need to tan it for a hat band, and it's thin. They don't last forever. If you're making something that has a lot of wear on it that you're rubbing against very often, but on a hat band, you set it on your head and you don't even touch it. It just sits up there, so they last a very long time. My boots here, the soles are falling off. I tried gluing them back on. I don't know if that's going to work or not. But all these weights on the table, I had them weighting down these rattlesnakes. I had like this. This is a metal yardstick. I had that setting on the top of that, and then I had the dumbbells on top of that to compress it. So that snake to where the rattles start, 27 inches. Around here, that's probably a little bit bigger than normal. They're about that, 2 feet or so is about normal. To the tip of the rattles, let's see what he measures. 29, maybe not quite 30. I cut off probably 2 inches where the head was. This one, like I said, it was squished in the middle, so it's hard to know how long that one was. But anyway, I tried compressing this with weights. That didn't work, so I wrapped the heck out of it with string. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but boots are expensive, so by golly, I'm going to try. Gorilla Glue, it's not the kind that foams. The only thing I don't like about this is this bottle is so dang hard. You can't squeeze it and get any of the glue out. I gotta take the cap off and use a Q-tip. But it seems like pretty good stuff overall. Anyway, today I'm heading down to the fairgrounds. The breakdowns just don't stop. I was using the tractor to put away the portable bleachers after the demo derby and move dumpsters around and that kind of thing and feed the roping steers. Well, my phone rang, so I turned the tractor off to answer the phone, and when I went to start it again, it's making a grinding noise. I think the starter is out again. The rear seal is leaking, and it's got oil in there. I think there's oil in the starter. The guy that we have that does our tractor work, really a good guy. I like him a lot, but he was going to come look at it, but he had to call. He said he had a family emergency, and so that's not good. I hope everything's okay there. So anyway, go take a look at this. I'm kind of afraid to see what I'm going to see, I think. I need that tractor. Whew. Got 3 more to do. But changing the plow teeth on this arena rake, they're double-ended. This was about that much longer, probably, same as this end. So what I gotta do is I gotta loosen these bolts and flip them over, so instead of looking like that, they look like that. But what a day! The tractor. Oops, let's see. It's on the other side. The starter on the tractor, it grenaded. It broke all to pieces. This is a different starter here, and the one we had, the inside, the nose cone on here, you know, the way they work, they have this little gear that spins, and it spins a bigger gear that's on your flywheel, and it turns your crank and turns your motor and starts your tractor. Then it stops, and that little gear sucks back in there, and it's out of the way, so nothing is turning anymore. There is, because that little shaft that little gear slides back and forth on is unsupported, it has to have a pilot bearing on this side, which is supported by a big cast iron piece. This one here, I think, is aluminum. But that cast iron piece, it broke into like 6 pieces. And I don't know why. And the tractor shop guy, Chris is his name, he said he's seen that happen before, but it's usually when somebody is using starting fluid or something and it is, you know, backfired and slammed against there or something. But all I did is turn the key. I mean, I didn't use starting fluid. I didn't do anything different than any other time. You just turn the key and it's supposed to start. This time it just made this horrible grinding noise instead of starting. And grinding noises are really not good engine sounds. You really don't want that. But yeah, it did bad things. And I'm glad I called the roping clubs guys, because I didn't know they were roping tonight, but they are. And these plow teeth, they need changed badly. That other plow we have does a better job than this one does, but it pulls way too hard for this tractor. That's why we've been having troubles with this tractor. And this one here, well, they're just going to have to live with it. It doesn't do quite as good a job, but it does a good enough job. Anyway, I got 3 more of these to do, and then I got to fill the water truck and go water and plow. What a pretty day. It's hot, though. I don't know what time it's getting to be or what temperature it is. It's funny, the temperature they show on here is in town. See, it's 4 o'clock. They're going to be here at 6, so I have 1 hour. Temperature they show here and the temperature we have at the house is rarely the same. Current temperature in Salmon, Idaho. Let's see what it says.
In Salmon, it's currently 88 degrees.
88 degrees. Well, that's pretty close. I was guessing 90. Probably is 90 here. I don't know. Plenty warm. And our snow over there, let's see if there's any left. Most of it is gone. But there is a little bitty dab right there. Right there's a little snow, and then over on this peak over here, there's a little bit of snow. Let's see, where are we at? Right there. The rest of the divide, that's the Continental Divide, by the way. The other side of those mountains is Montana. Everything on this side is supposed to go to the Pacific Ocean as far as drainage. Everything on the other side is supposed to go to the Atlantic Ocean. over here, this mountain over here, Sal Mountain, they call it, S-A-L. I've been told that when there's no snow at all showing on that, and there isn't, there was yesterday, actually I think there was this morning, you can get over the ridge road. But until that snow is gone, you'll run into snow drifts up there. So I expect you can get over the top now. Anyway, get these 3 done, fill up the water truck, and get a move on. That's the last one of these. Like I say, that should be as long on this end as it is on this end. It's worn down quite a little bit, so you just flip them over. This is the ground side that digs into the dirt. So anyhow, that's done. Here's one that was new. The other one was already worn out. But see, this is the center. So you got the same amount on either end. You can flip it over once. But the bolts and things, they wear out, and the nuts, I found out after like it only took me like 20 years of working here to realize that if I put 2 nuts on there like this, it covers up the threads and they don't choke with dirt, and I can get them off again to flip them over. Before, oh man, I had to wire brush them and fight with them to no end, and couldn't get them off. It was just a nightmare. And this costs a little bit more because it does kind of wear out the nuts on there a little bit quicker, but well worth it. Well worth it. I can get them off. But anyhow, it's time to load up the water truck. Well, the arena's ready for them. They should be showing up here anytime. Glad to have that tractor working again. Anyway, see you tomorrow, folks. Have a great day. Bye.